Choose the team you want to start your franchise with. Use the options on the left to edit league settings and choose what role you want to the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Browns and the Jags, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new...
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. Well, now how about this return? And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They will be led out by their dual-threat quarterback, the veteran from Clemson. It's Deshaun Watson.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The numbers for Njoku from a week ago: 11 catches, 92 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this one is we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. They run it again with Chubb. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4. Watson now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. The former first-round pick, Eric Armstead, the one who got in there to make that play.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here come the Jaguars to take over for the first time behind Trevor Lawrence, their quarterback in season number 4.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
On the ground with Bigsby to start the drive. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. From the gun, Bigsby. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Jaguars had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. 12 yards on 3rd down as the drive rolls on. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blow.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. They'll set up a screen for Bigsby. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Lawrence going to throw again. And he fends him off. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not I just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
Bigsby will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. He finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that one a 13-play drive in total, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Watson. He's got the connection to Moore. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Got to give their offensive coordinator credit there. He got right into the head of the defensive coordinator because right on the heels of the sack on 2nd down, he figured they were going to come at him hard again. And so he went ahead and hit a brilliant call. Screen pass works well enough. They're able to pick up a 1st down. That's one way to keep that defense at bay.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. In motion, the tight end. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. Yeah, the Browns are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal. Watson going to try and run it. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because He looked up, and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
York able to send this one through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Looking long for Thomas. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Now a timeout called for by the offense. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here's Lawrence to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Now a handoff to Bigsby. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. As they've got it as we resume action. Lawrence will throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. In motion right is Davis. On 3rd down, here's Bigsby. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3. Here's a give to Bigsby. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. That is caught. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. This 2nd and 4. Here's Lawrence. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. It's a throw again is Lawrence. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Here's Watson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They're looking to bounce back following the loss to Miami a week ago, and they've got the lead right now as they come up with a 1st and 10. Bigsby with a carry to begin the series. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Another run by Bigsby. And some room to roam now. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. There was a great article in the paper yesterday about how he likes to run angry. Plays like that, you can feel it, can't you?
As long as he doesn't drive angry, we're okay. Because when he's on the field, that anger works for him. It fuels him, it powers him, and the end result runs like that.
And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. A run here with Bigsby. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Now 2nd and 9.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. On the jet sweep, here's Cooper. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Watson off play action. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs. Chubb will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Ford is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Watson. Touchdown, Browns! David Njoku, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns have regained the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. He targets Ingram for another grab. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Back to throw. Lawrence on the slant. He's got Davis. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 3rd down and 1. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. They go play action now. Lawrence. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. A shotgun snap for Watson. This will be caught downfield by Moore. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27. To throw is Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now it's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Yeah, the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. York able to send this one through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. Lamar Jackson has a touchdown pass. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Jaguars offense and Trevor Lawrence getting set for this next drive. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And out across midfield down to the 45. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On the carry, Bigsby, and he'll work down inside the 45.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw, Lawrence. A short throw to Ingram. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here's Bigsby. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 93 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They will start this drive with Ford. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Andre Sisco right there to knock that ball free.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
The Jaguars offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. They go play action with Lawrence. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. 3rd and 5. Here's Lawrence to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. Making the tackle there, Martin Emerson.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
From midfield now, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Cleveland offense making their way out. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They work now on 2nd and 9. Now Watson. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. 2nd and 10. Watson. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. He finds his man, complete. It's Ford. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the 1st half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Now Lawrence. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 41 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 37-yard line. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Here's Lawrence. A short throw to Ingram. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now Lawrence. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Lawrence will throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And the Jags are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. The deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Tank Bigsby with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. 2nd and 9. Again, they turn to Ford. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. From the gun, here's Watson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try the air now with Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Watson now to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Back to throw, Watson. This is Akins hauling in the short pass. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Foye Oluokun finding his way to the ball for a stop. A tackle for loss. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Here's Watson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
York able to send this one through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did, you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. They run the option left with Lawrence.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Well, that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Now Lawrence to throw. A short throw to Ingram. But right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he gets it down to the 32. 113 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And Bigsby once more. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Looking to throw. Watson. That's caught left side by Judy. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Back to throw. Watson. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. Watson now going to run the option right. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal.
Quick throw completed by Watson. Now hang on here, because following that play, it looks like Amari Cooper is in some distress. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Browns have taken a fourth quarter lead.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that gives him a 3-point lead. That time a 9-play drive.
And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
In motion right is Davis. That is caught into space at the 45. Now he's free at the 35. He may go.
Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Jags use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the fourth.
So minutes after giving up the lead in the fourth quarter, they say not so fast. Big play, and they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you have a seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Foyesade Aluakin.
And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes The quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees, because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, Bigsby.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
They'll set up a screen for Bigsby.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
There's another example that playing football isn't strictly being physical. You've got to think as well. Nice job reading his keys by the linebacker and going out in the open space when they dumped it to the back. He was able to make the play and stop him short of the goal line.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So now it's Watson and the Browns.
Down by 7, a little under a minute to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's Watson.
And that is taken in by Njoku. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Just over 30 seconds remain. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Watson.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. That's to the sideline and incomplete. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
This to possibly force OT.
This ball intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Jaguars are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Jacksonville, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.